Love Ain't Lust, Part 1. Carmen and Cameron had been a couple since their freshman year of high school, and here they were now in the final semester of college. They were inseparable and had been given the title of the cutest couple on campus. Everyone looked up to their dreamlike relationship status. Cameron was a business major, while Carmen was a law school student. They really were the real deal and had planned to get married after graduation. That is, until one day things drastically changed. Cameron and Carmen made it a point to talk to each other every day, if nothing more than to say good morning or good night. They also made plans to hang out with each other at least twice a month, since they both ran very busy schedules and had personas to uphold for their fraternity and sorority. But on this particular day, they decided to hang out with some friends, and while they were normally cuddled up, Cameron seemed purposely distant.
He stood next to me but didn't show any affection and looked quite annoyed. I had never seen him like this before. I looked at him with great concern as to what could be wrong.
I'm just having a bad day.
He quickly gave her an excuse before excusing himself from the group. He didn't even kiss her goodbye. Carmen was so confused but decided to give him his space. When she turned her attention back to the group, she noticed a slight smirk on Sammy's face. A girl that she recently befriended a couple of months ago when she transferred from another college. They didn't take the same study but shared the same sorority. Carmen would soon find out that's not all they shared. She called Cameron that night to check on him before her and her best friend Dana headed for a night out on the town. Sammy was supposed to go too, but decided at the last minute she had other plans. When she called Cameron, his phone went straight to voicemail. Carmen grew more concerned and decided she would go to his apartment before meeting up with Dana. His car was in the driveway and she could hear music playing from outside the house. She called him again but got the voicemail again. She turned around to leave but then heard the sound of a woman who was enjoying extreme pleasure.
What on earth is going on?
She decided to look through his living room window by the front door and saw Sammy straddled on top of Cameron.
I hate you. Carmen felt her heart sink into her stomach and ran as fast as she could back to her car. She wanted to kick down the door, but what was the use? It was over. 8 years of loyalty and commitment down the drain. She cried to herself hysterically, but refused to meet Dana in despair. She wiped the tears that streamed down her cheeks as she drove hurriedly back to her home.
Soon as she hit her door, she dropped to her knees and sobbed loudly. She wanted to scream, but knew this would do her no good. She did it anyway. She yelled out while breaking everything she could find he had given her. She threw the 2.5-carat ring across the room he had given her 2 months ago for engagement. How could he do this to me, she thought. How could I not see this coming? Carmen was a lovely young woman, both in spirit and in looks. She had plenty of advancements from other guys over the years that were worthy of her time, but never gave them the time of day because she was so in love with a lying, cheating scumbag. She wasn't boring, but kept herself reserved for several reasons, Cameron being the main reason for her demeanor. She heard her phone ringing and snapped out of the mess of herself she was currently in. It was Dana. She quickly told her she was on the way and hung up the phone. She went to her closet and pulled out a pink lace corset top, a denim over jacket, and her favorite pair of fitted ripped jeans. She put on her thick sole walk all over you boots, applied her makeup, put her hair up in a messy bun, and headed out. Tonight, she would make herself forget about Cameron altogether, she vowed.
Look at you looking all badass sexy.
Dana said, teasing Carmen.
I thought you already had a man.
Dana teased her again. Carmen felt the tears filling her eyes once more, but quickly braced herself not to mess up her makeup.
Not tonight, I don't.
Carmen said firmly. Dana had never seen Carmen like this before, but decided she kind of liked her newfound freedom.
Okay then, well don't hurt nobody.
I sure will.
They both laughed while getting in the car. For the whole ride, there was an eerie silence and Dana could tell something was off with Carmen, but decided not to pry. Suddenly, Carmen blurted out,
He cheated on me, Dana. That lying sack of shit cheated on me.
Dana was at a loss for words and just looked at Carmen in disbelief.
And you won't believe with who. Sammy, that bitch.
Carmen said while banging on the steering wheel.
Oh no, he didn't.
Dana said, now as angry as Carmen.
The nerve of those two. Well, you don't need him anyway.
To hell with him. To hell with both of them.
Carmen pulled up to Club Trans and gave the valet her keys.
Tonight I'm going to forget I ever met him.
The gentleman at the other end of the bar sent it over, the bartender said. The man saw Carmen look at him and headed in her direction. As he got closer, Carmen could see how fine of a man he truly was.
Hi, I'm Derek, and this is my friend Kevin. Do you mind if we have a drink with you, beautiful ladies?
Carmen started to refuse, but then remembered she was newly single.
Sure.
She said with a flirtatious smile.
Let's get out of here. They had several rounds before heading back out to the dance floor. This man is fine and an excellent dancer, Carmen thought to herself. She didn't know if it was because she was buzzed or what, but she began to feel an intense and immediate attraction to him. She could see the feeling was mutual from the way he gazed into her eyes. She liked the way his body felt against her, and suddenly felt a boldness arise in herself. When the right moment came, she kissed him passionately, as if a magnetic force compelled her to him. He kissed back just as passionately, then pulled her in as close as he possibly could. The room was now spinning to Carmen, and her body was out of control. She hadn't felt this way for so long.
She felt the words leave her lips. She whispered to Dana to take care so she wouldn't be stranded. Dana gave her the thumbs up and kept dancing with Derek's friend. Meanwhile, Derek and Carmen headed for the door. He didn't stay too far from the club, so they reached their destination in no time. They couldn't keep their hands off each other. Clothes and shoes were flying everywhere.
Wait, I have to let you know something.
Derek murmured, before Carmen put her hand over his mouth while planting kisses on him until he gave in. She straddled him the way she had seen Sammy with Cameron. Derek was defenseless to her beauty and passion. Although he was physically strong, he was no match for how good she made him feel at that moment. They went at it for what seemed like hours, and when their bodies collapsed, Carmen laid her head on his chest.
What was it you wanted to tell me?
She asked him in a soft, sensual tone. He knew if he told her now that he would regret it for the rest of his life, but also would if he didn't. So he opted to just hold her tight for a little while longer.